associates gather on the stand. This trial's a circus, but I've got a plan. Not a grifter, still worse than Dan. Hopscotch squares, don't trip, don't fall. BK in a felony, I've heard it all. Shake it, magic 8 Ball. Tell me the truth, will justice call? Me be the diva, she's running the show. Chief Capone mad, yeah, everybody knows. Fat or fat, well, nobody knows. What the corn echoes as the chaos grows. My credibility left in a vehicle. Hopscotch squares, don't trip, don't fall. BK in a felony, I've heard it all. Shake it, magic 8 Ball. Tell me the truth, will justice call? What the corn echoes as the chaos grows. My credibility left in a vehicle.
I was sleeping.
Ha, I was making sure I wasn't muted again. I was watching. Because last time I was sleeping on the mute button. Anyway, how's everybody doing? Happy Thursday. Had to see what day it was because I generally don't know. But anyways. What's up, whoever? How you doing? Miss Ash. Just me today. Just me again. Sorry. Sorry I let you down. Oh, goodness. It's been a long week. Been like a long, short week. Does that make sense? Makes sense in my head, so. What's up, Bad Dazzer? How are you? Whoopsies. You never left. Well, thanks, Ash. How you doing, Bad Dazzer? What's up, Mr. Jeffrey Montgomery? How are you? Squid Raid. Oh, my. Well, thank you. Miss Squid. Thank you very much. You guys must be getting done with Charlie Kirk stuff. What's up, Snipe? How are you, sir? You're no longer in second Canada. You're stuck in normal Canada for now. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy for you. I'm truly happy that you are not by the Arctic Circle anymore, because I felt bad for you because it feels like it just never gets that warm there. But I don't know anything about normal Canada or second Canada. What's up, Heidel? Miss Heidel and the Squid Raiders. Hope you guys are all doing well and having a great day. We've almost are through another week. We're doing it. We're almost done. We can get there. Fortunately, it's not a long weekend like last weekend. We'll survive. Gabby is busy today, so you are stuck with just me. My apologies. 30 degrees. That's about... It's 80 here, so we're the same. We don't have a lot to go over tonight. We have just over an hour's worth of testimony, and it's all detectives, so yay. Flashfan was kind enough to get me day 2's timestamps, and I was going through those before we start. Next week's going to get interesting. Our little sweet defendant is not going to be so sweet next week. So I'm excited for that. So we'll get through these 3 witnesses, and then Monday the excitement will start. So if you are new here or not up to date on what we're doing, we are covering Wisconsin versus Kevin Lychwick or Lychwick. I don't know. He doesn't know. He is a pro se defendant representing himself. He is, because every smart person does that. He is accused of taking his neighbor's life and then concealing his body in the woods behind his apartment, because that's the place to put him. We saw pictures of that on Tuesday. Okay, it was bad. The concealment was bad. So he was just under piles of sticks and a tarp, I believe. Uh, I don't know. The defendant has raised in his opening statement, if you can call it that, that there was police messed with the body camera, that the police threatened him, and, you know, kind of made all these accusations. Well, if that's true, you really, really should have an attorney to help you navigate through this, that knows how to get motions in front of the judge and to make and ask a question, for crying out loud. He has earned 2 points from me. One, if you don't know, I hate skunks, and he ran over one. So there was a point. And two, when the defendant's daughter testified, he did not ask her any questions. So I was happy about that. That gave him 2 points. He's still minus 100, but whatever. I don't know. And after, I haven't really listened to a lot. I was just kind of going through and making notes on what Flashman sent me. So I just know that he's going to just pull some stuff next week. And I'm here for it. I can't wait. What's up, Carmen? How are you? Well, I know how you are. I talked to you for a minute. And Carmen and Cheyenne got good news on their dog today. So they don't believe that he is in kidney failure, and his numbers are getting better. So that was good news. Bad news is he doesn't like the dog. He doesn't like going to the vet any more than most humans like going to the doctor. And so I'll just say the vet is on his way to get some stitches in his hand. Not laughing. I'm not laughing at that. It's just they usually medicate their dog before taking him to the vet, but he had to be fasting today, so they weren't able to give him anything. That's what Carmen called to tell me earlier. She was on her way home after dealing with that. Yeah, oops. Again, this vet has been amazing to them. So I hope he's okay. I really, really do. And I hope their dog's name is Sergio. I hope Sergio got home okay and got to eat maybe some medication to calm him down, and he can have a quiet night. Oh, he snapped that muzzle. You didn't tell me he was muzzled. Or maybe I didn't hear it. Oh, goodness. Lots of treats. Yeah, it's funny because they have their dog who doesn't like going to the vet. And then my Brandon and Bree have a Saint Bernard, and he also doesn't like going to the vet. And he's never bitten anybody, but he's snapped a muzzle. And the funny thing is, when you call the vet, when these guys have called their vets and said, hey, we have dogs that don't like coming to your office, to your place, to any office, to any vet. So, one, be aware. Two, we might need to medicate them or sedate them. And the response is always, oh, we can handle it, until they get there. And then they see, oh, we can't handle it. But this was Sergio. In Sergio's defense, and in this vet's defense, this was only his second visit. And the first time he went, he was very, very sick. So that he's feeling better now. He's very sore and pouting. You can't give him medicine because he won't eat. So steak it is. You're giving your dog steak. We'll put some medicine in the steak. He'll be all right. Or you just can't give him medicine. I don't know. Yes, I'm sure he will be very happy with his staying. I would be happy with one of those, too. Just saying, Carmen. But anyway, all right. So, like I said, we are in Wisconsin. This trial took place about a month ago, so it's not an older trial like we've been covering. We're not traveling that far back in time like we have been. Flashman recommended it to me. I don't think it's going to, this, as trials start and they have to, get all the boring stuff in, that's where we are. So but it's not going to disappoint us. I don't think it's going to disappoint us at all. Alrighty, we are getting ready to watch Detective Christopher Bloom. What's up, Deidre? How are you, ma'am? Well, I'm sure he will eat the steak, Carmen, and then you can give him whatever he needs. And then he can go to sleep, and you can go to sleep, because I know you need to. Poor girl has had a week. Also, I feel like it's just the camera angle, and this court reporter is, I know she's staring at the state table, but it feels like she's just staring at us, like right into our soul. Like, I swear I didn't do it.
Yes, Your Honor, we called Detective Christopher Bloom.
That was the tree guy. Let me know if that's too loud. I'll turn it down. Because it might be. It might be loud. Yes, that was Mr. Williams.
Detective, you may come up to the witness stand. When you get up to the chair, please remain standing and raise your right hand to be sworn in.
Yes, he was.
Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give in this matter before the court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
I do. Thank you. You may have a seat. Get yourself situated nice and close to the microphone in front of you. And start by stating your name, spelling both your first and last for the record.
First name is Christopher. Last name is Bloom. Christopher, Christopher. Last name is Bloom, Bloom.
You may go ahead.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon. Is it detective or specialist? To make sure I'm calling you by your right title, sir.
I'm a detective.
Okay. Detective Bloom, which agency do you work for, sir?
The City of Waukesha Police Department.
And how long have you been employed with the Waukesha Police Department, sir?
A little over 12 years.
Directing your attention to November 4th of 2024, did you respond to a particular storage unit at 1512 East North Street?
Yes.
And did that storage unit belong to the deceased individual in this case, sir?
Yes, it did.
And did you recover any items of significance at that particular individual's storage unit?
Yes.
And what was that item, sir?
There was a miter saw that had been rented from Home Depot by the victim in this case.
Do you know when the victim rented that miter saw, sir, based on the investigation?
Yes.
When was it rented, sir?
On April 14th, 2024.
And how do you know that, sir?
One of my partners recovered video surveillance from the Home Depot located in Delafield, Wisconsin that showed the victim, Carlos Maldonado, taking possession of that miter saw.
Just 1 second, sir. Okay. Detective, do you know an individual by the name of Nathan Poley?
Yes.
How do you know Mr. Poley?
He resided at 1512 East North Street, unit number 1. He was a maintenance man or groundkeeper that would do work on the property.
And just to remind the jury, 1512 East North Street, was that the same address where Mr. Maldonado was also found in this case?
Yes, Carlos was found on the property of 1512 East North Street.
And was there a point in time, sir, in which you had a conversation with Mr. Poley?
Yes.
And was that on November 2nd of 2024?
I spoke with Nathan on Friday, November 1st, 2024.
Okay. And was there a point in time in which you asked Mr. Poley for consent to do something particularly?
Yes.
And did you ask him for consent to search his apartment?
Formally on November 2nd, which would have been a Saturday, he provided consent to Detective Condon to search his apartment, his vehicles, his storage unit, and he consented to provide buccal swabs for testing.
In terms of Mr. Poley's consent for his unit, his storage unit, his vehicles, is it fair to say he was cooperative in terms of that request?
Yes.
And then you mentioned that at some point in time you asked him for a buccal swab. Is that right, sir?
He was asked to provide buccal swabs, yes.
And can you please tell the jury, what is a buccal swab?
It's a sterile instrument, much like a Q-tip, with a cotton or foam on one side, used to collect, in this case, mucosal DNA from the cheek.
And do you obtain a buccal swab by swabbing the inside of an individual's cheek?
Yes.
And by swabbing the inside of an individual's cheek, does this collect their DNA?
Yes.
And when an individual's DNA is collected, then is it subsequently, can it subsequently be sent to a lab for identification?
It can be, yes.
And did Mr. Poley provide 2 buccal swabs to you?
Not to me personally, but he did, yes.
He did to law enforcement?
Yes.
And again, he provided them both consensually?
Yes.
Did you or did another officer at some time ask Mr. Poley for consent to search his booth mobile phone?
Yes.
And once again, did Mr. Poley give consent for a search of that particular phone?
He did.
And did Mr. Poley ever revoke consent for the police to search his phone?
No, never.
And to your knowledge, was there any information located in Mr. Poley's phone that would suggest that he had any connection with Mr. Lychwick in this case?
None whatsoever.
Any connection in terms of the alleged victim in this case?
None whatsoever.
That's all I have. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Cross-examination, Mr. Lychwick?
Detective, did you ever come across any indication that Mr. Pauly knew the victim, Mr. Maldonado?
Yes.
And what would that be?
He acknowledged that he would come across Mr. Maldonado in passing, stated that they would smoke a cigarette from time to time. I believe at one point he assisted Mr. Maldonado in bleeding the brakes on his vehicle. So he described their relationship as acquaintances, folks who would come across each other in passing.
But yet they did have a cigarette together and they did auto work together, which
Yes.
is what friends usually do.
I'm not sure. He characterized their relationship as acquaintances.
How convenient. I have no further questions for this witness, Your Honor.
Really?
Any redirect on that scope?
No.
Okay, Detective, you may step down. Thank you.
How
Thank you.
convenient. Okay.
State can call its next witness.
The state calls Detective Lucas Hallmark.
Detective, you can come up to the witness stand. When you get up here, please remain standing and raise your right hand to be sworn in by the clerk.
Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give in this matter before the court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. Thank you. You can have a seat. Please position yourself nice and close to the microphone, and when you are ready, start by stating your name, spelling your first and last for the record.
Lucas Hallmark, Lukas, Hallmark, Hallmark.
Sir, how are you employed?
City of Waukesha Police Department.
As a police detective?
Correct.
How long have you been with the Waukesha Police Department?
Approximately 19 years.
And as a detective with the Waukesha Police Department, do you have a specific type of case that you investigate, or is it more of everyone investigates a little bit of everything?
I am assigned specifically to financial crimes, so white collar, fraud, embezzlement, those type of crimes.
When there is a death investigation at the or within the jurisdiction of the City of Waukesha Police Department, are there times where detectives who may not necessarily only investigate homicides might pitch in to assist in the investigation with whatever additional work might need to be completed?
Yes.
I'd like to direct your attention to October 30th of 2024. And on that date was a body located at 1512 East North Street.
Yes.
Were you one of the detectives who responded to the scene that night or no?
I was not.
Did you subsequently provide assistance in investigating who the individual was and building a timeline of that deceased individual's last 24 hours?
That is correct.
In a death investigation, why is it important for law enforcement to build that 24-hour timeline prior to the decedent's death?
Well, it's important for many factors. In this particular case, it was very helpful to go back and determine where the individual was, what they were wearing, especially with in my line of work with financial crimes, we were able to determine what the person purchased, those types of things, to kind of identify what patterns of life the person had prior to them being killed.
In this case, with the remains being discovered approximately 6 to 7 months after he was last seen, would obtaining information about those last 24 hours also help corroborate the date that the individual would have died?
Yes.
In this specific case, were you aware that the identification of the remains had been made and the individual was Carlos Maldonado?
That's correct.
And were you made aware then, as part of your investigation with your other officers, that he was a resident at that apartment building on North Street?
That's correct.
What did you do in this investigation to build that 24-hour timeline of Mr. Maldonado's, of the day that he died?
So through investigation, we learned that Mr. Maldonado completed his financial transactions through Educators Credit Union. So I submitted a subpoena to Educators Credit Union to determine where his debit card was used during the course of the period of time where we thought that he might have last been alive.
And did you notice any purchases that were made on April 14th of 2024?
Yes. In reviewing financial records, you are able to determine if a charge is usually like a point of sale service. So like if someone goes into a store and they actually use the card physically, either tap or insert in a chip or a swipe, you're able to kind of determine that on the credit card statement opposed to like a reoccurring charge or something that's purchased online. So we were able to determine that the last point of sale service or purchase by Mr. Maldonado was on April 14th.
Was that at a Home Depot located in the city of Delafield?
Correct.
Once you saw that purchase on Mr. Maldonado's financial records, did you go to that Home Depot location?
I physically didn't go there. I spoke with a security asset protection manager from Home Depot, but I am familiar with that store.
Okay, have you been there before?
I have.
And having been there before, would you be familiar with the layout if you saw it on surveillance video?
Yes.
And are you aware of this particular Home Depot store, but Home Depots in general have video surveillance cameras throughout their stores?
Correct.
And have you, in prior investigations, even if it's a financial crimes case, obtained or been asked to obtain video surveillance from either Home Depot or Menards or any other stores like that?
Yes.
And are you aware too, if Home Depot, as with any store, in their normal course of business, they keep receipts or copies of rental contracts when individuals or customers come in to either rent or make a purchase?
Yes.
And did you based upon Mr. Maldonado's visit to the Home Depot on April 14th, obtain any paper documents or receive any of those of that nature, whether it was a rental agreement or a receipt or something like that?
I did. There was 2 documents that I received. One was a rental for a miter saw at the tool rental area, and the other one was a transaction, like a purchase transaction of items that he actually purchased there.
Madam Clerk, can you please turn on the screen in front of the witness?
Yes.
And while we're doing that, as part of your building of Mr. Maldonado's last 24 hours, did you also locate other purchases that he would have made in person on April 14th?
Yes.
Was one of those locations a Quick Trip in Waukesha?
Correct.
And then did he make a purchase at Harbor Freight in Waukesha?
Yes.
Did you obtain receipts from those 2 businesses showing what would include a date and timestamp of Mr. Maldonado's purchases?
Specifically with Quick Trip, we were able to obtain the receipts and the transactions for what occurred. On Harbor Freight, when we went to the location, they didn't actually have a physical receipt to give us due to the time that had passed. However, they were able to pull up the transaction on their computer and show us the items that were purchased. However, they weren't able to give us the exact time that the items were purchased on that day.
On the screen in front of you, I'm first showing you what is marked as State's Exhibit number 60. 61. 62. 63. 64, and then Exhibit 59. Have you seen each of those exhibits prior to your testimony today?
I have.
Would those be the either video or documents or screenshot from Harbor Freight that you just referenced?
Yes.
I would move exhibits 60 through 64 and 59 into evidence and ask to publish to the jury.
Mr. Lychwick, any objection to receiving those exhibits?
No.
They will be received. Any objection to publication?
No.
They will be published as well.
Detective Hallmark, I'd like to first start with the financial statement for Mr. Maldonado. How did you obtain his financial documents? I know you said that you found out he banked at Educators Credit Union, but how did you actually get this document?
We found Mr. Maldonado's debit card, and we were able to identify the numbers on the card, and we were able to submit the subpoena to Educators Credit Union.
And the subpoena prior to its submission, was it approved by a judge here in Waukesha County?
Correct.
Is that a standard practice for any warrant or subpoena that yourself or other detectives serve on a company or an individual?
Yes.
Now, when you received the financial records back from Educators Credit Union, was there a time frame that you had asked for?
Yes, there was. I don't specifically remember the large scope of the time frame that we requested, but I believe it was January 2024 through, I actually don't recall the end date that we requested it. Yeah.
Okay. In looking at Exhibit 62, is this a 3-page statement of the monthly statement for April 1st through April 30th of 2024 for Mr. Maldonado's Educators Credit Union account?
Yes.
Okay. And now when you reviewed this, if we go down to April 14th of 2024, do you see the Home Depot purchase at Delafield or at the Delafield location that you just talked about?
Yes.
Okay. Is this what I am highlighting here with my cursor is this the, one of the purchases that he made at that Home Depot on April 14th?
Correct.
And we noticed that withdrawal POS, which you defined for us earlier as meaning he was in person. Is that fair to say?
I mean, most likely, the POS means point of sale. I mean, there's a potential that there's a possibility that the point of sale could be included on the credit card statement, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the person was in person, but it routinely or commonly does refer to that, yes.
Okay. What did you learn Mr. Maldonado was doing at this Home Depot location in Delafield on April 14th?
So in review of the camera footage, we're able to determine that he rented a miter saw through the tool rental, and he also had other items that he had purchased, a paintbrush, an extension cord, there was some polyurethane and some other items.
In looking at Exhibit 60, which should be on the screen in front of you now, is this the receipt for the items separate from the miter saw that Mr. Maldonado purchased on April 14th at approximately 10:23 a.m.?
Correct.
Okay. Now, going to then Exhibit 61, what is Exhibit 61?
This would be the tool rental purchase from the Home Depot in Delafield.
And is this the rental agreement for that miter saw?
Correct.
Was this miter saw ever recovered from the property of 1512 East North?
It was.
Were you one of the individuals that recovered it?
I did not take possession of it, but I was there when we searched the area and we located it, yes.
Okay. Now, on this rental agreement, can you see when the miter saw was due to be returned?
It was due back on April 14th at 2:21 p.m., so it was a 4-hour rental.
And because you located it on scene at the property, is it fair to say that was not returned?
It was not.
Now, looking at Exhibit 63, what is this exhibit?
This exhibit is is a photograph of the computer at Harbor Freight showing the transaction of Mr. Maldonado's Educators Credit Union card at that location.
And we can see the transaction date on the right-hand side of Exhibit 63, and that's April 14th of 2024. Is that correct?
Yes.
Then going to Exhibit 64, what is this?
This is a receipt of a transaction that occurred at Quick Trip, store number 527, which is located at, I think it's 1700 Pewaukee Road in Waukesha, Wisconsin.
After April 14th of 2024, were you able to see any other activity on Mr. Maldonado's educator's account or any other financial records that you got?
There was some activity after the 14th, yes.
And what kind of activity was that?
There was a charge for Instacart for, I don't know the exact amount, it was for like $100 some. And that we later submitted a subpoena to Instacart as well to determine what that charge was for. And we learned it was a reoccurring subscription fee.
So it was already set up. It wasn't Mr. Maldonado making a purchase through Instacart.
Correct.
I do not have any other questions for this witness. Thank you.
All right, cross-examination, Mr. Lychwick.
I have no questions either.
Detective Union.
Actually, Judge, I did just think of one more question that I forgot to ask Detective Hallmark since he's still here.
All right, I'll allow Detective to be recalled because he's still in order.
Nope, too
There were
late.
no cross-examination questions, but I'll allow Mr. Lychwick to ask a cross-examination question if it's
Yes.
Detective, you may sit down again. Attorney Thompson.
Thank you. Detective Hallmark, I apologize. We talked about video surveillance, but I did not play it with you. I'm showing you what is marked as State's Exhibit number 59. What are we looking at here?
It'll take a moment for the screen to come up.
All right, it's up.
Thank you. What are we looking at Exhibit 59?
This is the tool rental area for the Home Depot in Delafield. The camera's pointing down towards the clerk cashier area. And if you look, To the screen to the left is where Mr. Maldonado is standing with a cart with a 4x4 piece of wood. And he's got a darker color pants and a gray shirt and a blue hat. And then that's the actual entrance to the store. And if you look to the right, out that way towards the garbage can, that is the exit out towards the parking lot.
Does Mr. Maldonado, when you watch the video, end up coming closer to the counter?
Yes,
And is that when you see he is making a purchase?
correct.
Okay. What evidentiary value did this video have later on in your investigation as it relates to what Mr. Maldonado is wearing in this video?
So the shoes that Mr. Maldonado is seen wearing in this video right here match very consistently the color, the shape, the formation of how the two patterns come together, the white and the blue on the shoe matched with the shoes that were located on the individual located at 1512 East North Street.
And as far as the date and timestamp on this video, is that contained in the bottom left-hand corner in the title of this video?
Correct.
Okay. I'm going to play not the entirety of the video because it is 6.5 minutes long, but I am starting at the 0-second mark, and I will indicate the timestamp when I stop.
I'm not ignoring you guys. I'm kind of wondering what happened to the miter saw, if you really want to know. And the story is hilarious, and now the guy's buying wood.
I am pausing at 1 minute and 5 seconds. Detective Hallmark, can you please circle on the screen in front of you which individual Carlos Maldonado is? Can we please capture that as Exhibit 59A?
It will be captured. Just one moment while my clerk confirms.
Now, I do not have any other questions for Detective Hallmark. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Lychwick, do you have any cross-examination questions?
Not for the detective, but since the prosecution enjoyed re-examining this witness, I think it would only be fair that I could re-cross-examine Ms. Glenda Rose.
All right, I understand that request. I made an exception for the state here because the witness was not taken out of order, so I'm denying the request at this time to recall the other witnesses for cross-examination. All right, Detective, you may step down. Thank you. Attorney Thompson.
Also, okay, I gotta clarify here. The story that about the guy in Indiana, because I know that not everyone can see the chat that's happening in YouTube, that cut off his own man part. That's not funny. I mean, he's stupid for doing it. He surely had an issue. I don't know where the fire came in because I did not see that story. I had not heard that story. I mean, I have no idea. But I was really kind of wondering where the miter saw went, because when he started talking about the miter saw, I got confused for a second and was thinking they were talking about the defendant, not the victim. And I was like, but that guy, he didn't cut him up. So the defendant. That's why I got very distracted for a minute. I wouldn't dare imagine how much I would hurt to cut that off. I don't like, I don't know what you have to be going through to do that or on to do that. It's Indiana. We have a big problem here with, I don't know about up north. My area, there's a big meth problem. So, yeah, I don't know. I know. It's not funny. But all the comments were funny. So, yeah. You just know how it is here. That's just how we are. That's how we cope. You have to be a real dick to do that. I mean, yes. Well, then, I guess you would only be that for a minute, right? Because then you wouldn't have one, so I guess. And then you burnt. Did he throw it in the fire? He was signed before he. Oh, he was saying before he disappeared, the lady had to clean up the sawdust. See, I wasn't the only one that thought it was his saw. Oops. Yeah, he had not been signed anything. I don't know. Maybe it's in the storage unit we haven't seen yet that the defendant rented for the month, for the free month. All right. Last detective, Miss Jessica.
Timing wise, do you want to call another witness at this time?
I had one on the way. I'm not sure if she is in the hallway right now. Otherwise, oh, she is now.
Let's call the witness and we'll go till, I don't want to go all the way till 5 because it's been a long day, but let's take some testimony as long as our witness is available.
Thank you. The state calls Detective Jessica Barrett.
I'm glad I didn't try to say her last name. I would have messed it up. Thank you.
Detective, you may come up to the witness stand. When you get up here, please remain standing and raise your right hand to be sworn by our clerk.
Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give in this matter before the court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you may be seated. Position yourself nice and close to that microphone there, and when you are ready, start by stating your name, spelling your first and last for the record.
Detective Jessica Barrett, Jessica Behrendt.
Detective Barrett, how are you employed?
I'm a detective with the City of Waukesha Police Department.
Mr. Lychwick, these are the physical copies of the receipts that Detective Barrett will be testifying to. So I'll let you go through those while.
Thank you. And how long have you been employed with the City of Waukesha Police Department?
Over 19 years.
And do you have a particular area or type of crime that you investigate?
I'm considered a general crimes detective, and I specialize with frauds, domestics, stalkings, death investigations, things like that.
Have you ever assisted on a death investigation?
Yes.
And do you know approximately how many times in your career you have?
I would have no idea. There's been a lot.
Okay. Now, when you are investigating a death, whether it is suspicious or a homicide or something else, is it uncommon for the police department to take kind of an all hands on deck approach?
An all hands on deck approach would be a very serious case that we work. Typically, you could have 1 or 2 people helping you out on a case at a given time. In this investigation, it was all hands on deck.
And why was it all hands on deck for this one?
Because it was clearly the manner in which we discovered the body was clearly a homicide, given the bounds and the wrap that the body was covered in. It's evident that someone did this to an individual. So we knew we were looking at a homicide. We just didn't know at that point initially who or when or how. So we wanted to quickly kind of address all different areas, and we needed a lot of resources for that. We know that based on the level of the severely decompositioned body that we were already behind in our investigation, so we needed as many resources as possible to try and catch up.
Now, when we are talking about this investigation, we're talking about the remains that were found at 1512 East North Street here in the city of Waukesha. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And were you one of the detectives that responded to the scene that night on October 30th?
Yes.
What was your role when you arrived on scene?
So I assisted Detective Stern. I was there to canvass the area for witnesses and statements and things like that. I was also there to check apartments, other apartments. I checked apartments' histories to see what kind of calls for service we had over the last 6, 8, 10 months, whatever it was that we were looking at the time. And then also just to conduct any follow-up that was needed afterwards.
You talked about looking into potential missing persons, correct?
Yes.
And are you familiar with the term premise history?
Yes.
What would that be?
So in our system that we used for our reports, and every single call for service generates an address, and that address holds a history. We call that a premise history. So I looked at the premise history for this apartment complex, and I noted that in, I believe it was May 21st of 2024, that Talisa Maldonado called in her dad, Carlos Maldonado, missing. And so we didn't know who the body was, so we were looking at different facets of the investigation. First of all, where is Carlos and is he okay? And also, who is this body? We didn't know that the two were related at the time. So I was looking at premise history and also other missing persons cases in the city of Waukesha and even outside of the city.
When you're talking about looking outside of the city, would that be within Waukesha County?
So there is a federal database for missing persons, and we were even considering looking into that before we had identification.
Did you ever expand the scope that far into the federal database, or were you able to focus in on Carlos Maldonado in your investigation?
In my investigation, I focused on Carlos.
Okay. And was law enforcement subsequently notified of an identification of the remains that were found as Carlos Maldonado?
Yes.
So now you know who this individual is or was, and now you start working on figuring out how this person died. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah.
And did there come a time in this investigation where law enforcement had identified an individual by the name of Kevin Lychwick as a suspect in the death of Carlos Maldonado?
Yes.
Okay. Now, once that information is learned by law enforcement, did you review a report or a CAD summary regarding a traffic stop conducted on Mr. Lychwick in mid-May of 2024?
I did. It was May 23rd of 2024.
And in reviewing, I'm sorry, I'll back up a little bit. Do your patrol officers in the City of Waukesha Police Department wear body cams?
Yes, they do.
And were you able to review a video of that traffic stop on Mr. Lychwick from May 23rd of 2024?
Yes.
Did you notice what color hair Mr. Lychwick had during that traffic stop?
It was gray.
Did there come a time in this investigation where you had in-person contact with Mr. Lychwick?
Yes.
Do you recall the approximate date that happened?
I believe it was the end of November, May 29th, possibly.
What color hair did he have at that time when you met him at the end of November in person?
It was jet black.
Now, I'm backing up a little bit to after this traffic stop, but now back to this investigation into Mr. Lychwick as the possible suspect that killed Mr. Maldonado, okay?
Okay.
On or about November 19th of 2024, were you in charge of organizing a cadaver dog search of the property at 1512 East North?
Yes, I was.
Prior to that, had you been the one to reach out to the handler of that canine?
Yeah, so I learned that we had a resource in Wisconsin that was Canine Search Company, and Karen Corcoran is the owner of that company, who owns a dog named Moxie, who was available and willing to come out to do a cadaver search at the property.
Prior to that search occurring, did you conduct any kind of premise history of the apartment complex on North Street, specifically related to deaths on the property?
Yes, I did.
Why did you do that?
Because Karen, the owner of the dog, had informed me that the dog may hit on areas where there is previous death investigations, even if it has been some time. So I wanted to look at the premise history of that apartment complex to check any death investigations or deaths that were reported, or any significant exchanges of bodily fluid. For example, there was a stabbing there in 2017 in the driveway and the common hallway in the downstairs portion. So we wanted to make sure that the dog wasn't going to hit on something that would adversely affect the results of the canine.
And so part of this premise history from your end is trying to protect the integrity of any subsequent search or alert by this dog. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And when you looked at that premise history, I know you just referenced the stabbing, were there other deaths reported at this premises or at this apartment complex?
Yes, there were death investigations in apartment 3, 5, 1, 12, and 14, I believe. And then the most recent was in February of 2024. That was apartment 3. So that is on the lower floor, and it's quite a distance away from apartment 13, which was Carlos's apartment.
And the deaths of the residents related to those apartments,
I was thinking the same thing. I figured she'd list off like 1, not 10. I don't know if it's 10, but dang, what's happening there? Maybe this guy had it out for everybody.
numbers, did they, aside from the stabbing in the driveway, were those individuals found deceased inside of their apartments?
Yes, they were.
We'll talk later, the jury will hear later from Ms. Corcoran, but moving on then to, or kind of through your parts of this investigation, because is it fair to say you were not involved in every single step of the investigation?
Correct.
Okay. There were times where you would come back to assist while also maybe working on some of your other cases that you had ongoing?
Correct.
Did there come a time then where you assisted on a residential search warrant that was executed on Mr. Lychwick's apartment at 1512 East North?
Yes.
And that occurred on November 26th of 2024. Is that correct?
Yes.
Would that also have been the first time that you met Mr. Lychwick in person?
Yes.
Were you part of the search inside Mr. Lychwick's apartment?
No.
Where were you during that search of his apartment?
There is a common area on the second floor, and Mr. Lychwick and Detective Stern and I were in that common area.
And is it fair to say that there was a significant amount of paperwork and documents that were located in Mr. Lychwick's apartment?
Yes.
And were those documents and papers brought back to the City of Waukesha Police Department for further analysis?
Yes, they were.
Did you assist in reviewing any portion of those documents?
Yes.
What area or what topic of documents did you review as it relates to Mr. Lychwick's spending habits?
So Mr. Lychwick had all of his monthly statements and receipts for spending, as well as he could keep track of them, folded up every month. So I had January through October of 2024 and all his financials, including his bank statements and receipts of purchases from stores and gas stations and things like that that he spent his money on throughout those months.
And I'm sorry, I might just ask you to slow down just a little bit. You kind of picked up at the end there. Now, these receipts that you had found, were they for stores located here in the city of Waukesha?
Yes, they were.
And were there certain receipts that you notated in your report that had evidentiary value as it related to the timeline of Mr. Maldonado's death?
Yes, I noticed that his spending has increased in certain months. Specifically, the receipts that I had looked at, you could see from Woodman's, Dollar Tree, Walmart, things like that. They included a lot of cleaning supplies, in excess of cleaning supplies, what I would say. Typically, when someone shops somewhere, they have if they go to a dollar store, they have one that they prefer, whether it's close to their home or work or things like that. Mr. Lychwick was going to multiple dollar stores, multiple Walmarts, and even in the same day, within a few hours, to purchase things such as rubber gloves, bleach, what I would consider an excessive supply of salt, flyaway spray, air fresheners, candles, things like that.
Detective Barron, Your Honor, this is the one physical exhibit with Detective Barron. I would ask permission to approach the witness.
You may. What exhibit number will this be?
This will be exhibit number 140. It is an envelope containing the receipts that Detective Barron just discussed. And I have shown a copy of these to Mr. Lychwick. I provided them to him for review as Detective Barron started testifying.
Okay, you may approach with witness.
Well, if he was in Iowa, he would only need one little air freshener and a towel under the door, and he could have hid him in his bedroom for 18 months, like what's her name did in Iowa. I can't remember her name. Dixie. Miss Dixie. He didn't need to buy all that stuff.
Okay, Detective Barron, I'm showing you what's marked as State's Exhibit number 140. Can you go through those, flip through them, and let me know when you're finished?
No, they are not. At all.
Okay, I'm finished.
Exhibit 140, are those some of the receipts that you discussed reviewing back at the police department that were taken from Mr. Lychwick's apartment?
Yes.
And before I keep going, do you see the individual whose apartment was searched, Kevin Lychwick? Do you see him in court today?
Yes, I do.
Can you please identify him by where he is seated and article of clothing he's wearing?
He's seated right there with the gray suit on and gray hair and glasses.
I would ask the record to reflect the identification of the defendant by this witness.
All right, the jury will make that determination.
Thank you. Now, I'd like to focus on a particular timeline of these receipts. Were you made aware during your investigation that Mr. Maldonado's date of death was determined to be April 14th of 2024?
Yes.
And so if we focus on the receipts that you reviewed after that date, those would be included in the receipts you have in front of you, is that correct?
Yes.
Starting with April 15th of 2024, the day after Mr. Maldonado's death, there was a purchase by Mr. Lychwick at Dollar Tree on Sunset Drive in Waukesha. Do you see that receipt?
Yes, I do.
And what can you tell was the item purchased during that visit?
It's abbreviated, but it's long cuff gloved, a box size large.
Okay. Now, is there a receipt from the Dollar Tree there with you on or about the same date where he purchased Scrub Buddies heavy duty scoring pads 4 count?
I have one from the Dollar Tree. Looks like the 29th. The receipt is a little faded at 18-16 hours. There would be another box of size large gloves, masking tape that was a concern, multiple candles, dish soap again, Febreze, more air spray.
Is that the Dollar Tree located at 1230 West Sunset Drive in Waukesha from April 29th?
Yes.
Okay. Is the time of that transaction at 18:16?
Yes, it is.
And would that be 6:16 p.m.?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything on there about Greenbrier Kennel Club XL heavy duty pet training pads?
Yep, it says training pad XL on there.
And were you aware of, or during your preparations or your briefing for the search warrant on Mr. Lychwick's residence, were law enforcement officers aware if Mr. Lychwick had any pets?
We believe that he did not.
And were any pets observed in the apartment during the search?
No.
I am next looking at a receipt from the Walmart location in Pewaukee from April 28th of 2024. Do you have that receipt in front of you?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and on that date, is this receipt timed at 21:48?
Yes.
And that would be 9:48 p.m.?
Yes.
What are the purchases made at the Walmart in Pewaukee on that date and time?
So there's some just regular purchases like toilet paper, vitamin D, but the thing that was a concern to me was the large latex gloves.
On April 28th, 2024, is there a separate Walmart receipt for a Waukesha location?
Yeah, so this was the purchase that I was talking to, 2 different Walmart locations within the same date and a very close time frame. This one's at 22:33 hours.
Which is at 10:33 p.m.?
Yes.
And what purchases were made at the Walmart in Waukesha at that time?
The item of concern on here is the trash bags.
Okay. Can you describe for me how many gallons were those trash bags?
It doesn't say on here, but Walmart has a way you can look up receipts and then subsequently look at the exact visual items that were purchased. And so I looked that up, and I believe they were 30-gallon. They were large bags.
Now, is there a receipt there from April 29th of 2024 at the Walmart in Pewaukee?
Yes.
And is that timed at 1912?
Yes.
Is that 7:12 p.m.?
Yes, it is.
What items are purchased on that date and time?
Size medium and size large gloves, as well as some regular household items, it looks like.
In looking at a Dollar Tree receipt from May 7th of 2024 from the 120 East Sunset Drive location in Waukesha, do you see that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and is the time of that transaction 1812?
Yes.
Is that 6:12 p.m.?
Yes, it is.
What was purchased at that time?
64 ounces of bleach.
On May 13th of 2024, is there a Woodman's receipt that you recovered?
So I made a mistake in my report. It is not May 13th. This one is June 13th. I mistyped it in the report.
Okay. Is it from Woodman's?
It is. It's the same time, 6:53 p.m.
Okay, that was my next question. Did it say 1853, but you said that's 6:53 p.m.?
Yes.
And what was purchased at that time?
So Woodman's, one of the issues that I had with the financials of Lychwick, if you don't mind me backing up for a second, his May bank statement was not included. It was just a printout that he had of some things, and I could see that he went to Woodman's several times. So I asked Woodman's to provide copies of the receipts from the store. So that's why these receipts are a bit different. And he did purchase quite a few regular household items, food, things like that. The items of concern for me on this receipt is 3 separate purchases of iodized salt. It's 26 ounces each, so 78 ounces of salt, which is it's just shy of 5 pounds of salt, which I felt was excessive for an individual who lives alone. A 70-ounce bottle of blue dish soap and a 30-ounce bottle of white tea antibacterial soap. And the rest, like I said, is just regular household items or groceries.
Was there a purchase you noted on May 16th of 2024 at Woodman's at a transaction time of 10:10?
Yes.
And what, if anything, caught your attention on that particular purchase?
Tide Hygienic Clean Free Liquid, 146 ounces, which I thought was a lot for one person. Hefty multi-purpose strong trash bags, 56 count. Simply Done heavy duty scouring pads, 3 count. And 2 pounds total of Food Club baking soda.
On the last.
Okay, I'm gonna take issue with the Tide. Because it's just me and my husband, and I will buy the huge thing of Tide, so I don't have to buy it very much. That one I'm gonna be like, that's okay. I'll give her the other stuff. I don't think the white tea soap I'm gonna put too much weight on, because that could have just been refilling other soaps around his house. I do that as well. I swear there's nobody in my woods. What's up, Waukesha? No. The answer to your question is no. And hello, Haley. Sometimes I think I don't think they have to look real hard in this situation. So, some people just buy what they buy. His gloves, problem. All the air fresheners, probably a problem. The bleach, maybe. If you want it to be a problem, then you can look at it and make it a problem. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it is. So, I haven't liked some of her framing or thought process on some of these items. but that's just me. Then, so now you guys all know I buy the big bottle of Tide, but I'm not hiding anybody.
Last one I'm looking at here, on May 16th of 2024, was there a Walmart receipt from the Waukesha location for a transaction time of 12:58 p.m.?
Yes, there is.
And what was purchased then?
30-gallon trash bags.
In reviewing the totality of the either receipts or other financial records from Mr. Lychwick's apartment, did you notice any change in the pattern of purchases as it specifically relates to garbage bags on or about the time that Mr. Maldonado was killed and after?
Yes, so according to the bank statements and receipts and things that I looked over, there seemed to be an excessive amount of purchases regarding cleaning supplies and trash bags and things like that in April, May, and June.
With these trash bags, were you able to note whether they were clear or white or black?
A lot of them were black.
I'm skipping ahead a little bit, as the jurors will hear from other witnesses kind of in between, but did there come a time where Mr. Lychwick was arrested?
Yes.
Okay,
And-
Attorney Thompson, I'm going to stop here in the interest of time. I don't want to stop mid-witness, but we've been going all day here. So it's 4:45, ladies and gentlemen. I think we're going to take a break for the evening at this point. Unless, Attorney Thompson, you were on the verge of finishing.
This was my last topic.
Okay. Then let's continue. We'll go just a few more minutes.
Okay, I was confused.
I'll certainly allow Mr. Lychwick a chance to examine too, but go ahead then.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I know, sorry, thank you. You just indicated that Mr. Lychwick had been arrested at the conclusion of this investigation, is that correct?
Yes.
And was he brought back to the City of Waukesha Police Department?
Yes.
Was he in an interview room with Detective Stern when you entered the room?
Yes.
And did you what was your reason for going in the room?
I was assisting in the interview, and I also obtained buccal swabs from a DNA warrant that we obtained for Mr. Lychwick.
And you were the one then personally who would have taken those swabs from that buccal kit and swabbed the inside of Mr. Lychwick's mouth?
Yes.
Once you executed that warrant for his buccal swabs, what did you do with those swabs then?
So those swabs, I used gloves and they remained in my custody until I was able to place them on our inventory, which is a secured location that's locked. And then that's essentially sent to the crime lab through our specialists.
Okay. Yeah. I do not have any other questions for Detective Barrett. Thank you.
Attorney Thompson, are you moving Exhibit 140 into evidence?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Okay, any objection to that, Mr. Lychwick?
Yes, I do have objections to that, Your Honor.
Okay, what is your objection?
Those are general receipts from my everyday life. They have nothing to do with the murder of this poor man.
Okay, so your objection is relevance?
Relevance.
All right. I think based upon the testimony of the witness, I'll overrule that objection. The state can draw inferences from the evidence. You can draw inferences from the evidence. But on a relevance ground, I'm overruling that objection. So Exhibit 140 will come into evidence. Do you have cross-examination, Mr. Lychwick?
Yes, I do.
All right, go ahead.
Detective Barron, is it against the law for a man to dye his hair?
No.
So why are you making an issue out of the fact that during a traffic stop earlier in the year of 2024, my hair was gray. I hadn't had a chance to dye it. And then when I met you during your investigation of this poor man's death, my hair was jet black because my girlfriend liked my hair black. Why was that an issue with you?
Mr. Lychwick, the witness was answering a question posed by the state's attorney. The question was asked, the witness answered. That's the reason for that answer. So you can ask another question.
Your Honor, she also made an issue out of it in her police report.
Okay, well, ask your next question, Mr. Lychwick.
So then, you seem to indicate that I'm buying a lot of certain materials, but yet you find that suspicious because I live alone. You don't know what I'm doing all of my time, and if I'm alone or not. I have a love life as well, Detective. And you're well aware of that too, because we discussed my girlfriend at one point. So why you're leading the jury on to believe that I'm living alone and buying pounds of salt that I don't need and things like this? It's just an exaggeration, which is quite a habit with you and Detective Stern during this investigation into my private life and trying to link me to this crime.
All right, Mr. Lychwick, you have to ask questions. You cannot testify, and you can't editorialize either. So if you have a question for this witness, now is your time to ask it.
Why would you think, why would you assume that I'm living alone, and, why would you insinuate that I'm buying all these materials for my private life and that they have something to do with something they do not, the death of this poor man?
Can you restate that question? I didn't understand what you're asking in that. It was a little long-winded.
How can you come to the conclusion that I'm living alone all the time when you don't personally know me? And how can you make assumptions as to what I'm buying is in association with my private life?
Okay, so to answer your question about how can I assume that you live alone, you told me. And I am just making observations based on the receipts and purchases that coincide with some of the items that we located on Carlos Maldonado's body.
But Detective, I told you I don't live alone all the time. I had at that time a love life, and I was seeing somebody else as I was breaking off my relationship with the woman we discussed. I was already starting another relationship with another woman. I was not all the time living alone.
Okay, Mr. Lychwick, I'm going to instruct the jury to disregard any potential testimony of Mr. Lychwick at this time. Mr. Lychwick, you have to ask a question. You cannot testify at this time. So ask a question, make a statement in the form of a question for this witness to answer.
How could you come to the conclusion that I'm living alone all the time when you don't know me personally and you're not there all the time to see what I'm doing, Detective?
Like I stated before, you told me that you were living alone and that your girlfriend lived out of state. She did not live with you. There was nothing in the residence to indicate anybody, let alone a female, was living inside the residence.
Okay, Detective, but how do you know how much time we spent together?
I do not.
That's correct. My personal habits and what I buy, I mean, there again, you don't know me personally, do you?
No.
So how could you assume that whatever I'm buying is out of character, out of order for somebody to buy, particularly what I bought?
Can you restate the question?
Sure.
How can I assume?
How could you attach such significance as to connect what my personal habits are and my personal tastes are with your investigation?
Because about 4.875 pounds of salt for a man that lives alone seemed excessive to me, especially when during the course of the search warrant we did not find an excessive amount of salt. These are just observations I made that may or may not be connected to this case.
They're just observations that you made.
Correct.
I have no further questions for this witness at this time.
Okay, thank you. Any redirect?
No.
Okay, Detective, you may step down. I'll take Exhibit 140.
Thank you.
All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to break for the day. So a couple things. I recognize that we've had a long day today, and I appreciate your patience and your attention throughout the day. This case is not ready for you to decide. It's not ready for even preliminary deliberations to take place. So when you go home tonight, don't discuss this case with loved ones. Don't talk about what you heard. Don't ask them what they heard about this case, if anything. If you come across any news reports or any stories about this on social media or the news, please turn it off or close your web browser or whatever you need to do to avoid reading or seeing anything about this case. Ultimately, you will have to decide this case based only upon what you hear in court and what I have allowed you to hear as evidence in this case. So also please don't discuss this case with each other and don't start deliberations. Aside from that, get some rest tonight, and we will see you at 8:30 tomorrow morning. We'll resume the testimony at that time. Thank you. All right.
So I think I'm not an attorney. So I know you guys know this, but had he not fired his attorney 4 days before it was going to go to trial, which I think Flashman said was his second public defender, he probably could. He just didn't. I think there could have been an objection made when she made the comment about the amount of Tide that was bought for one man. Like that's just her thoughts on that. What'd she say? 64 ounces of bleach? That's not like. I know. It's a shocker. I'm not an attorney. I know. You just find that out, Haley. Yes. So, he didn't eat him. He just put him in the woods, apparently. But all of it does. All of it does. The trash bags. I would like to know how. I'm kind of with Lockhong on this one. I'd like to know how many trash bags were left. Because, like, we'll go to Sam's Club or Costco or whatever you guys, I can't remember the other name you guys all threw out there. But it will take us 2 years to go through that huge box of trash bags. But we have them. We also have big black contractor trash bags in the garage for that trash can. We go through those faster. But I don't know. Like, I didn't like her presentation that much at all. I just didn't like it. Yeah, a lot of people buy in large quantities. And a lot of people have lots of cleaning supply. Okay, because I'm like 64 ounces of bleach didn't seem like that much. I'm thinking that's what I have upstairs in my laundry room. So it takes me a long time to go through that. I don't typically use it for cleaning because I don't want to ruin my clothes or anything else. But yeah. So I don't know. And that's the other thing. I don't like running out either. When I get low of something, I'm buying again. Or sometimes I'm at the store and I can't remember if I might think I was low on something, then I buy it and I go home. I'm like, oh, I had 2 boxes because I thought I was low, the last 2 times I forgot to check. So it's like, yeah, there's some of her stuff. If I was sitting on that jury, I would be like, you're gonna have to give me more than that he bought some stuff. I don't care about his hair dye. I made the comment the other day that when we started this trial, he had black hair when he was arrested. He's in custody. That's why they are not. She really had to ask to approach, and saying that would be the only time because they haven't really been approaching the witnesses, because he can stand up, I think, but we've not seen him stand, and the state typically doesn't stand. So. I don't know. That was just those were weird witnesses. Oh, my ghost is flashing. Did he just for men before, or has this sent him gray? He was just talking that he dyed his hair jet black because his girlfriend, who he was breaking up with because he had a new girlfriend, man was a player, liked it jet black. So, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, see? I'm not the only person. You have like 6 months of surface cleaning because you can't remember. Yeah, I just go and I'm like, oh, I think I'm low. Or I don't know. That's just what happens. It's not. It's not going to prove his guilt or his innocence for me. Okay, so you wonder if the carpet matched the drapes. I don't know. I don't wonder. I don't wonder that at all. Thank you. Those were not best arguments. They weren't. And again, if he had an attorney, probably could have asked questions on that, pressed a little bit more. He tried. I will give him that. He did try to ask her. He just doesn't know how. So it does now. The carpets match. The carpet match the drapes now. It does suck to. I hate it when I get home and I realize I forgot something. Like, dang it! I don't want to go back out in the world. Please don't make me. All right, so forgive me for having a very short stream tonight. But in order to kind of keep this down to reasonable parts, this kind of just ended on an odd thing. Uh-oh, you only have one biodegradable bag left for the food. Now your husband's in trouble. Hair color and Botox wears off. We've seen it in these trials, and no more diet suppressants. We've seen that too. Yep. And sometimes people need the Botox to wear off because they're scary. Their faces don't move at all. Yeah, there's been a lot of too many carbs in jail, or honey buns if you're allegedly. I think at one point in time, I have no idea what he looks like now. I don't care. Mr. Subway Jared, I think, had a lot of honey buns when he first went to prison. But that's a different story. Oh, also, I do have to tell you guys something. I didn't think I had to tell you guys this, but what's up, Bri? Bri? Thank you so much for the $50 super chat. I was late and now have to run away again. You have a great weekend as well. And don't work too hard. Keep those people breathing. But thank you so much. Wow. I appreciate it. He is very generous. You too, Frankie. So, I have to tell you guys. I always tell you guys I'm not an attorney. I did not know that I needed to tell you guys. I'm also not, and never have been, maybe I will be one day, ever been a juror or an alternate juror. So, I had no idea that there was any confusion on that until I was reading a comment yesterday, and I was like, oh my gosh, really? You don't think I'm a juror? Like, no shit, Sherlock. I'm not. No, I did not. And I haven't asked my husband if he did. I don't think he's heard back. He better have mailed it back. I'm not spending $50 in trash bags. I didn't get it lightened anymore. It's just light. It's getting light because of the sun and being outside. Thank you. It's my gray's starting to come back. I'm gonna look like the defendant. Well, we will all eventually buy $50 in trash bags. That is correct. That is true. But not today. I'm not. All right, so Monday we will we'll start off with we're going to see a different defendant on Monday. The well-mannered guy is not going to show up to court that day. So be prepared. He's not so friendly. And I'm trying to, you can't see his face because of where the camera is. So I don't know if he really feels ill or not because I can't see what he looks, I can't see his face. But even if you don't feel well, you don't have to be rude. That's just my opinion. So, oh yeah, I can't wait. You too, Ronnie. It was good to see you. So that'll be Monday at 6 p.m. And we will get into, I know we'll have the cadaver dog lady on, I believe, and then I think the first witness, I have to look to see who he is. I don't think he's a cop or a detective. I think we may be through with them for a few witnesses. I hope. Does he gag? I have no, I don't know. Yes, true. It costs nothing to be polite. You can tell that as I was going through stuff, just to kind of make notes on what FlashFan sent me, I could tell. I wasn't listening. Didn't have any sound on. I just had the closed captions on, and I could tell just by that the judge had enough. So I'm excited to get into this part of it. It costs nothing to be a jerk either. Sometimes it can. Just saying. Sometimes people don't take to that very, very kindly, Snipe, and they will do stuff to you. You know, just throwing that out there. Yes, being a jerk can lead to high costs in some situations. All right, you guys, have a great weekend. I hope you all have some nice weather. You don't roast. You don't freeze. Don't rain. You don't get rain. Whatever. Have fun. Do whatever you're going to do. Be safe. Make all the right choices. So y'all come back here in one piece on Monday so we can continue on with this fun stuff and see what this guy has in store for us. I'm looking forward to it. So thank you guys all for joining me. Thank you, Bri, for the super chat. Squid for the raid on she did it over here on YouTube and on Rumble. So I appreciate everyone that stuck around. And that's all I got. So you guys have a great weekend, and then I will see you guys all on Monday. So see you later.
Hot mannequin love is kinda uncanny. Click, like, subscribe, ooh, piece of candy. Looking for my spotlight, chasing my vibe. Still looking for my credibility online. Ooh, hot mannequin love, candy on the floor, don't pick it up. Chasing all the clicks, chasing all the views. Credibility's hiding, but I'm bringing you the news. Every little scroll is a mystery, but you stuck around, watch the show with me. Laughs and chaos, that's how we roll. Drop a comment down below before you go. Every little scroll is a mystery, but you stuck around, watch the show with me. Laughs and chaos, that's how we roll. Drop a comment down below before you go. Ooh.